Hi, guys. Welcome back to episode 6 of the Monster Cast podcast with me, Mason Paul, and our other host, Cameron Miguez.
What's up, Mr. Mason?
Nothing much.
Well, unfortunately, Shane couldn't be with us again tonight. He's still running a dump truck, so he's a little busy, but hopefully he'll be back with us soon. I have a little business I have to attend to. I had a fishing bet with my daughter today. Me and her went fishing together, and because I lost, I have to sit here at the beginning of this podcast and say, my daughter is the greatest fisherman ever, and she's my favorite daughter out of all my kids. Right?
Yeah. No, your favorite child.
Oh, she's my favorite child in the middle of my two boys. Nailed it. All right, we done with that?
Yeah.
Get out.
Peace out.
All right. Now we got that out of the way. Thanks for stopping by.
You're so welcome.
Well, so what's up with you in quarantine this week there, Mason? You always seem to have something going.
It's been the same like I did last week or last episode, still working on building computers. One fun thing actually got put into last second before we go ahead and bring our guest on. I was actually invited to one of the online Rigs Rod streams to sub in for a driver. That was pretty fun. It was really last second. They're called the Monster bring it up, make sure I'm calling it right here. The Monsterama League. It was actually really fun. They just finished up with their Las Vegas event. I was just dropped in one of their trucks. It was fun. I made it to the semifinals. I did terrible in two-wheel, but I guess I had a pretty good freestyle. I was up there and I was fourth, I think. It was fun for first time. I had a lot of, enjoyed doing it. Really great people, and hope to do it again soon with them.
Now, is that the one that we were supposed to be a part of?
No, not yet. They're actually going to be having theirs go on the 15th.
The 15th. All right. So next Friday.
Yep. I can't show the pictures yet because I don't think they've gone completely public with their track they're working on. But once it is up and it is live, I do have the okay to show them that or show that on our Facebook page. So stay tuned on that. Another interesting thing I'm working with as I'm working between screens right now, I was seeing in the comments talking about starting a Spotify to help with those who can't always be there for our live broadcasts. And so coming along the next few days, I'm going to be uploading this episode and all of our other past episodes onto our Spotify. I'll drop that link in our Facebook and our Instagram here in the next hour or two. And hope you guys enjoy that and keep up to date with our episodes.
So will they still find us? That they can look up Monstercast on Spotify, and that's where we'll be.
Exactly.
All right, cool. All right, well, sounds like you have a lot more going on than I do. I just mowed my yard, so that's my excitement to talk about.
That sounds pretty exciting, honestly. Working on something. We're working on something somehow.
Yeah. Trying to at least stay somewhat busy.
Yeah.
Well, do we have our special guest of the night with us?
We actually do. Go ahead and bring on the Groth twins. How are you guys?
Hello.
Tyler and Travis Groth. How are you, my friends?
Good. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. Seen that little video or seen our little video? Crowds?
There was more of Tyler. I don't know why, if you guys like him better or what, or he just does better highlights. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he just had the cool clips.
More
Yours
breakage, better highlights. Yeah, one of the two.
Yeah, exactly.
Comes with the territory. I also paid Mason $20. Oh, use my truck more.
We just did that on the down low. Sorry about the headshots. That was the only headshot I could find with you two standing next to each other. But the quality of the picture was really small. So even trying to make it work for you two, you guys look like you're all spread apart.
And now you guys are a high class operation here, so
We're kind of a big deal. We're right
I
up
know.
there. We're right up there with other things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the pioneer woman. She don't have nothing on us.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. No, we are.
We have such a high budget, we can't even talk about it.
I heard you were the most exciting thing you did today was mow your yard. I think we've been doing that for 3 days now. We've got 2 riding lawnmowers, and that seems to be our entertainment. Put the kid on the lawnmower and go run around.
Plus, it's been like 80 degrees here, which is rare for Seattle.
Yeah.
And what are we? The 1st of May now. So,
Well, I would put my kid on the mower with me, but it would look really awkward if I was riding around with a 16-year-old on my lap. So we try to refrain from that. I just let him run the.
Yeah, Jackie won't let me put Piper on the mower yet, but
so just Knox.
yes, just Knox for now. But we'll get there. Got lots to
Well,
mow. So.
Other than that, how's quarantine been treating you guys? I mean, you guys are obviously not doing any shows. Anything else exciting?
Projects. Painted the house.
Yeah.
Painted the shop. We cleared some land at our barn, our mom's property, and I don't know, trying to keep busy.
Right.
We did finally take the trucks out of the trailer 3 days ago.
3 days ago.
3 days ago. Decided to wash them, just get them ready, and that was about it. Yeah, that was.
It's our monster trucks of the week.
Since the last week of February. Where was it? Medford was our last show. Yeah, and they've been sitting in the trailer since then. So we thought they needed a little sunshine, and washed them up, and yeah.
Well, let's give everybody a little Groth history. So, you guys started out with Captain USA and taking turns driving it, and then moved on to buying your own truck. Start with a double trouble, then moved on adding a second truck. So, kind of tell us about how that all went on being with Jeff, and then moving on out to your own a little bit.
I guess we started way back in the day, first crewing for Joe Cipher, Airborne Ranger. That's kind of where we got our start. Met him, and when we had real jobs on the weekends, we would go and crew for him, and fix broken monster trucks and put the tires on and off. And he loved us doing it, and we loved doing it. And we see why now that we put the monster truck tires on every week. It's gets old, but it's always fun.
But there was a truck that Joe had talked to us about way back in the day. This would have been 2008, maybe 2009, and ended up selling. And we're like, oh well, I guess we'll wait to see another one or put something together. I don't know. We weren't really that into finding a truck yet, but he thought it'd be a good one, good deal, and we missed it. So we just kept crewing and wandering around, meeting a bunch of different people, and we ended up, I think it was about a year and a half later, ended up buying that same truck.
From
a different guy, which is funny, in
New
Jersey. So we ended up getting the same truck we were looking at, brought it home, ran around in the backyard, and I think we broke more parts on it in the backyard than we ever thought could be possible. But
our introduction to monster trucks.
Yeah, I guess it was entertaining ourselves in the field in the back. But then that led into I think we had done 1 or 2 shows, maybe 3 shows, led into meeting with Jeff in Tacoma, which we had always gone to, since we were kids, and talked to him one day and kind of, teamed up with him, helped him out, and Roger was driving at the time, and got to know Roger and Jeff really well, and then I started driving it a couple times on and off, and it just seemed to work out with Tyler being in our truck, and then I ran that one and ran it about 4 years before we accumulated enough parts and another chassis and
another great idea.
Yeah,
really 2 monster trucks.
You gotta have as many, I guess, as you can build. So we're 2 trucks then. So we ran all over the place running both of those. We had a trailer set up for 2, had a spare motor for Ty's truck, and we I don't know how we came up with the name. I think it was just it fit with the double trouble. So then we're like, troublemaker, sure, that'll work. And started running my truck, would have been 2014,
First show,
July.
Brian Manson probably doesn't even know, but we pushed that truck in the trailer.
That was toughest monster truck tour, Paso Robles.
We pushed that thing in the trailer because it wouldn't run. And we got down there. And
we had to go borrow some shocks.
Yeah, we picked up the shocks on the way to the show.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rusty Roberts and the old Titan truck. So we borrowed shocks for the first couple shows and show up, and the sway bars were hitting the shock. So Jim Norman's shop there in Paso, we cut sway bars all night and got it going and made the show. So that was it's always like that building a new truck. We've helped build multiple trucks, and seems like you're always rushing no matter the timeline. So
then that was 2014. So we ran the 2 trucks around. We did the whole triple threat series and ran the Feld bodies. And then, I don't know, about a year and a half ago, we decided we really needed a ride truck. Gotta have one. So we had already re-chassied my truck at the time, both trucks at the time, with straight up racing chassis. So we had my Patrick chassis that really only had 3 years on it, and had the housings, everything under it. We're like, let's just use that. So we
the motor in the
spent
front.
a couple months, swapped the motor around to the front, and that was last June, almost a year.
It was our first show.
We had the ride truck, and had Rudy come out and drive that for us for the first little couple months.
Dallas gets the shout out for the monster.
It was Dallas's idea. I think the body was already yellow, and it was
the old obsession body.
So we're like, hey, let's go with it. So we stuck with it, and it's pretty cool. Everybody likes it. And then we had some twin girls, Kelsey and Kylie. If anybody's been on the West Coast in the last 6 months, I've been running it around every single minute that they can. They just run the wheels off of that thing and do pretty good with it. So maybe at some point we'll just take over the ride truck and they can drive the race trucks, and be a little bit easier on us. But who knows? So so we've got 3 trucks now, and got 2 trailers all set up, and we're
waiting to go back to monster
waiting
trucking.
to go to monster trucks. So we've just been hanging out and running as much of the 3 as we can between anybody. The end of last summer we ran quite a bit, it seemed like, and then first quarter we ran West Coast and ran all 3 and had a lot of fun with it. So we've been busy. This is the most time off I think we've had in the 10 years for sure. Maybe
started 2010 was our first show.
Yeah. So
you
kind of different for us.
So you guys have just decided you just hate money altogether. You're just going to buy as many trucks as possible, collect as much stuff, and just be broke all the time.
Well, you might as well.
You have good role models though. You have Jim Cretin. He's got 4, so that's a goal.
Yeah.
Jim Kohler's got 4-ish or 5, so there's a goal.
Who else? Our neighbor down the road there,
he's got.
I don't
5
even. We'd have to go check. Well, in the 2
Yeah.
dinosaurs and the tank. Well, we got a tank. We got it. So we're starting to compete. We're just getting there after 10 years.
Yeah.
We've almost felt like we have enough monster trucks, but I don't think you'll ever have enough monster trucks.
Well, or you'll always have too many.
Yeah, that's part of it too. Yeah. We make more money when they stay in the trailer. We've come to figure that out. If you don't run them and don't break them, you don't lose any money.
Yeah, they're definitely more profitable when they're sitting.
Yeah. Yep. And a lot less work.
Not as much fun.
Well, so who are you guys? I mean, you guys have been running for, I know you did some for, I believe it was Torgerson last year.
Yeah.
Who'd you guys run for this first quarter?
Monster X Tour, first court we ran, All-Star for Brian Wagner.
We did a checkered flag at Beckley. We run a lot for WHR.
Lee Collins out here, Missoula,
West
Redmond,
Coast
Oregon.
We found out driving not as far is a lot more fun too.
Who else do we run for out here?
I don't know. Seems like we're everywhere.
California. We did some for John Borba.
WGAS.
Okay.
West Coast. As long as they're on the West Coast.
Yeah, we went
throw
to
our name in the
Grand Junction, Colorado last year.
That was our furthest.
That was a trek.
Well, the other thing I will say about you two is, out of all the people I've met in this business, you two have to be two of the hardest working bastards I ever met. I mean, you two, I'll never forget doing Sacramento for Monster Jam years ago. I had Jim and Don's there, and you guys had your trucks there, and we broke. I think we broke an axle or something, and so I'm sitting there at intermission swapping it, and you two come running over, and you help me. We knock it out, get it done, plenty of time, and you're like, all right, we got to go fix ours now. I've seen you two 100 times run around, fix everybody else's shit, and then go work on your own trucks. I mean, how the hell do you come up with there's a good idea? I'll worry about everybody else's, then we'll deal with ours. I mean, where does that come from?
Maybe it gets you in the mood to want to put your stuff back together if you kind of ease into, fixing everything else. But I don't know. I think we were known for always putting everybody's tires on, and then I think it kind of moved to, let's just fix this.
We started working
that,
we enjoy working on them. I guess the story, we were Portland, Oregon, and we were under Dan Rodoni's truck, and we put a third member in there, and he ran the half-inch bolts all the way around, and we didn't know when we put the third member in. And so we're under there with a drill, and Tom's sitting outside the truck.
It must have been a Mustang or
rental car telling us full throttle with the drill. So we're drilling out the third member in the truck, under the truck, with Tom cheering us on. And he said about the same thing you did. He goes, we remind him of him when he was, first starting out, just tearing stuff, working on it, thrashing all night. And he's like, it's not even your truck. But I don't know. That's the adrenaline part. I guess people, ask, why do you do this, or why? It's the adrenaline. If you don't get the adrenaline when you're driving, you may as well get it to prove somebody wrong. Oh, that truck's broke for the show, or you won't make it back. And just proving them wrong is something I think that we enjoy doing. A lot of probably guys do. And Mount Pleasant, we did for we drove Jamie's new truck, and Jim Kohler did the backflip and didn't quite make it and broke a bunch of stuff, and under there fixing it and got the truck all ready to go before 3 or trucks had even freestyled, and it was just fun. You're sweating head to toe, and then you got to go get in and drive your truck, and you're all jacked up when you go drive. So the fans probably get the most out of it because Jim got to freestyle, and then we're all jacked up and get to freestyle too. So I don't know. Yeah, we just work on them. We just fix them. We just got to drive them too because they're ours. I mean, it doesn't matter. Money. If we go to a show, I think it was last summer, we had one weekend off, and Bill had a show 2 hours from here. So we went up, hung out, and then weekend off.
Yeah, I mean,
we went to a monster truck show on our weekend off.
I mean, isn't that what every monster trucker does?
No.
No?
No.
Come on, Mason, you do it.
Yeah, from time to time.
See, Cam, you just got to get in the loop here.
Yeah, I just, but I'm the lazy guy of the group. I don't do nothing. I barely work on my own junk, let alone, anybody else's anymore. I mean, I used to be all gung-ho about that. I used to go and work on everybody's truck and tire up 7 trucks when I got to a show. But now I'm looking for people to tire up the ones that I get paid to tire up.
So you're working smarter.
Yeah, I'm the guy that stands back, says, all right, get these things ready, and I'll meet you guys in the pits when the show starts. And,
so how long in the business does that take till you start working smarter?
Well, let's see. I started in 2007, so you're almost there. You should be almost
there. Yeah, maybe.
Sweet.
Yeah, maybe it's coming, but yeah, probably not.
Well, Mason, have you got any? I mean, you had some interesting shows with these boys. You got anything for them?
Tacoma. That's all you need
Tacoma.
to say.
All 2, well, 10, right? We're at what? 10? Show 10 now. Last year's was what? Pretty rough. This year, I don't think we're any better.
Let's see, when we were when we had one transmission cooked out of one truck Saturday afternoon,
pushed rods out the other one,
and both trucks freestyled after swapping a tranny and then just swapping gears.
Rolled over, and Mason's running around looking for every tool in the Cretan trailer he could possibly find, because I think all we kept yelling was for more tools. Yeah,
916.
parts. Yeah.
Hey,
and-
impact gun. And Mason ran more that weekend than he probably has ever.
But that's what he
Yeah.
gets when he wants us to come work on monster
That
trucks.
was a weekend off.
Yeah.
Where we don't have a show and we go to Tacoma. 5 shows. If you've ever done Tacoma, which most people have and choose not to go back, it's a different show, but it's fun. Look, Mason, we got stories to talk about, and you wouldn't have that if we didn't survive that 5-show weekend.
Well, I know you guys used up almost all the minutes on my phone that weekend calling me.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah, we
you-
were calling you. We were phoning all the friends we could. Hell, we went to Bill Payne's Saturday night to build push rods.
Yeah, we did. We
And,
had, I don't know what those half-inch thick push rods that are 12 inches long in that Cretan motor.
I called our engine guy at probably too late. Thanks, Steve, for picking up the phone, or Chris, I forget who it was, but I was like, hey, we got these push rods we haven't seen. I'm like, he's like, well, what, how big are they? And I'm like, let me get a tape measure. And he goes, you can measure them with a tape measure?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah. And he goes, oh, we don't have those. So that's when we knew we were in over our head.
I would like to be different.
Sure.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, we like to make sure we have nothing that matches anybody else. That would be steal from us.
Yeah, then we can't come rob anything but some nuts and bolts.
Yeah, like sway bars. When you break a sway bar and we say, hey, we'll get a sway bar. And then Mason's like, no, we have different sway bars on Mutt. And then we're like, oh, no.
Yeah, but then somebody comes with the bright idea. Hey, you have 2 in the front. Take one of those.
Yeah. I think it was at you, or I don't know who it was through all the yelling, but we got her fixed. That's all that matters. Yeah. So that was a fun weekend.
One of the other things we love to do on this podcast is we're all about interaction. We love to have people chiming in here with comments and questions for you guys. So, Mason.
I've never seen Mason. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You're going up to new guy. I think this.
Hey, the new guy.
I think this one has to be a really good one, actually, from Dawn Cretan, and she's asking, "What's the secret to telling you two apart?" And it's something with the booty size, if my memory's correct.
Right now, Tyler has his contacts in, so
my thing is I'm a little Tyler. There we go. We'll start with that. I'm a little taller, slimmer. I'm younger, better looking. But other
who
than
hasn't shaved in 3 months?
Yeah,
a little rough.
Starting to. I mean, why not? It's the trend, I guess.
If there's broken trucks, or if there's 10 minutes of free time and somebody's over BSing with somebody, it's Tyler. For sure. If he's off wandering, talking, when there's stuff to be done, it has to be Tyler.
But if you like seriousness want a difference, I think his face is more round. Mine's taller.
Yeah. I wear black. Black Romeos, black overalls, Travelers brown. That's like, if we're working on a truck, we got our overalls on, but brown and black. But then
you ever thought about simplifying and just go name tags?
No name tags.
Well, that would make it simpler instead of trying to worry about what color you're wearing.
I mean, some people pick it up pretty quick. I'm pretty sure Don could tell us apart.
Our voices, people say, are different.
No, it's for Jim.
Yeah,
maybe.
I have noticed.
Side by side,
I have been able to pull it off a couple times,
50-50 chance, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I just go with twin 1, twin 2 when he's about to answer.
Yeah. I think that's what Bill does. Well, Bill, I think, might be actually figuring it out. Yeah. Finally, after running down there and over there and however long. But yeah, I don't really know other than that. Yeah.
Sorry.
Just say the name, and if you're right, then stick with it. And
I was married for a year before he was, so that was like a giveaway. Yeah.
You hope.
Yeah. There's a ring on your finger. It's an easy tell.
Yeah, I don't have a ring anymore. I have a permanent ring. I don't know if you can even see. Where is the dang camera? I was changing the starter in a hurry, and sure enough, arced the wrench onto my ring, and it melted and pulled the skin all back. And yeah, it was fun. So it was
kids
a lot of fun
at home working on monster trucks.
Yep.
If you're married,
never happened to you, but sure enough, 3 weeks of my life was
changing bandages. It was pretty gross looking. So yeah, I have a permanent like wedding ring on my finger now. So
Get the rubber ring. You don't have to worry about that kind of stuff.
yeah, I got to get some of those, I guess.
Yeah.
Once my finger's able to actually wear a ring again. So
What else?
Another
You got?
interesting one from Matt Clark. He has, I think we put a wrong drive shaft in one of your trucks on a show just to get it going. Is there a story behind that one?
where would we have run with it? Probably Red Bluff. It
I was
probably wasn't
thinking RMR.
RMR.
Oh,
Well,
maybe.
either way, you're probably not in the clearest mindset at either one of those shows. Like,
Yeah.
you're lucky to function the next day.
Well, no, there was one time we cut the one because the yoke was bad on the other one, and we took 2 4-link bars, set them up against each side, and we welded it right in the park, and that was Spokane. I don't know if that was it.
Was Matt there for that?
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, whatever it takes to get the trucks back together.
We probably did, and it probably still under there if it was working right. I mean, that's why if we got it, we'll stick it on there and give her a shot. But yeah, I mean, we probably did.
We've done some goofy stuff.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of RMR, I'm actually wearing the shirt. How bad do you miss that show? I mean, I watch you guys do. You did some cool shit in that show. I mean, that
was a fun one. That was the couple of year. You do 25, 30 weeks a year, and there's a couple that you really like running at, and that one was for sure different and a whole lot of fun. I mean, we started at that one 2013, maybe 2014, maybe the first year. No, maybe it wasn't 2014 because we didn't have my truck yet. Maybe it's 2014 with yours. 2015, no, you ran before by yourself with just the one, and I ran Jeff's. So maybe it was like 2013 was our first time running there, and every year
figure 8 racing is crazy on asphalt, and it always came to shove and this and that, but at the end of the day, it was just having fun.
You couldn't beat that. You couldn't beat that show from a backstage monster truck side. I don't know, from the stands, because we never did get to watch one. But
you don't get racing like that.
Yeah, I mean,
anywhere else. I mean, and we raced at a lot of places, but to truly race there, I think we all push them as far as they would go and as hard as they would go until there's just nothing left. And I mean, the Bigfoot guys always did really good because they got the wet brakes. Jim's got the horsepower, and I don't know how Trav always did so good there with his little 486. I think I had a big motor there the one year, and I just can't really race. I get confused, or I just can't concentrate through the whole race. But they had a pretty cool donut contest there one time.
Yeah, right across the thing where you weren't supposed to be. Yeah, that's something you would do. Yeah, because he wasn't paying attention in the driver's meeting.
But yeah, that's a fun show because it was a good lead group, and then good people. The Bigfoot guys. The whole Cretan clan was there.
There'd be times there'd be 10, 12 trucks there.
Yeah, Darren, Migas, and it's just everybody. You hang out after and sign autographs until whatever hour of the night people decide to leave, and do it again the next day. So for sure,
that's what we actually for a few times we were doing this podcast, Dunk would chime in, and so I always had to talk about the after hours, sitting around Larry Swim's trailer listening to Dunk tell stories. And that was
Paul Schaefer, the first time I ever drove a monster truck. Switches and levers every time. Every time he tells the story, he's got to hit his keynotes in it.
Oh, Ron. Maybe he said when we did Salt Lake this year in January, was that January? Said this was his last year, but maybe we can get him to go one more.
Yeah,
because he didn't really get to run this year.
Even gotta. Yeah,
I don't know what it would take to persuade him. Maybe some people sending it on his page.
Try about 2 drinks in 9 minutes.
That would do it too. Easier to convince. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What else you got, Mr. Mason?
Well, I was going to go to a question, but speaking of Ron, he was mentioning a bunch of stuff like staying off his damn grass. He's saying how he missed y'all and how there's no RMR.
Well, yeah, I do remember about the grass too. I mean, it was really nice, but it's I mean, there's not even grass there anymore, so what did it matter?
Trent Montgomery would say the show needed it, Jim. So
Yeah,
that's kind of
something like
applies.
that.
Show probably
Yeah.
needed it.
Stay
Yep.
off the grass and stay off the paint logo.
Yep.
Never really listen to anything, do we? I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they're just pointers, I guess.
Hey, I saw Ron do one of the coolest tumbles in a monster truck day. I don't know if he ended up in the grass or not, but it was close. He probably did scratch the paint across the infield. I can tell you that.
I do remember the truck being folded up and parked for the weekend.
Yeah, more time to hang out and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Here's a good one from Tim Mente, and he's asking, "What's your best super trucking story?" Everyone has one. How am I gonna pull this shit off?
Oh, we have a ton. Have you
right.
seen our rig? Hold on. Time out. Okay, so the one time we put the generator on the back to run the
Yeah, when it
charger,
shut off.
or the
Yeah.
electric fans.
No, I mean you got a couple. We got time.
Oh, okay. So here I'll tell one.
Quick, because you just ramble.
Okay, we were driving somewhere in the middle of the night, and this was like a dumb one though. I forget who was driving. I think Trav was driving.
Yeah.
Maybe even our little brother was driving. We were going over the pass in California.
No,
Going up the hill,
that
and
was
he
the
killed
first
it.
show with my truck. Trying to go to Paso
Killed it.
overnight.
Killed
with
it.
my truck. Yeah,
Killed it. And he's sitting there on the hill, and we cannot get it to go up the hill, and it won't do anything. It's like stuck. Like the brakes are locked on. We go back, and we're at this point. We're going to
It's like 3 in
cage
the morning.
the trailer brakes.
Yeah.
The tractor brakes work. We can't get it to roll. The brakes are dragging,
Right.
and after like 15 minutes, the
No,
trailer
it was
brake
probably
valve,
more like 2 hours.
the trailer brake valve got bumped down. So if you
Somehow.
actually put that lever straight up, it will go.
It'll
So
roll.
that was our introduction to super trucking.
But I mean, another one has to be going from Edmonton to Pueblo. For some reason, we decided, where the heck were we going? East? And the thing wasn't running right. So, we're like, oh, let's put some more oil in it. It'll keep going. And we keep going. And then it locks up. And we're like, well, that's weird. So it wouldn't start. And this is trying to drive straight through the week to get, Anyway, we order a starter, get a starter in a taxi, to the truck stop. They would only go to the truck stop. We had to walk like 2 miles to the truck stop.
With a backpack to the truck stop to get a starter.
And I can't even tell you what we paid for that in the middle of Wyoming.
Yeah.
But put the starter in and went to push it, and it wasn't the
hole in the
starter. The motor was blown up. Yeah. So the starter we had a spare starter now.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was another one.
One
Another
time
one with our
the
T2000.
The pulley came off for the alternator.
Yep.
And we were just done, like battery's dead in the middle of the road. So we're like, hey, we got a generator and a battery charger. So we took the generator out of the trailer, set it behind the cab, ran extension cords into the cab, and hooked the battery charger onto the little terminals in the cab behind the dash. Charged the batteries as we were going down the road and
Where
made
were
it to
we
the
going
show.
there?
Somewhere in Wyoming, too.
Yeah, it was,
Let's stay out of Wyoming.
Maybe
That was
that's what
amazing.
it is.
That's a good one right
We had
there.
the clutch fan come off.
No, you got to
The
go back
Freightliner.
with Roger, and it comes up to Pueblo again, and Brian
Oh.
Manson and that damn show. We left Seattle. It was a last minute. I can't remember who it was, didn't make it, but Brian called us and was like, "Hey, you got to be in Pueblo. It's like 1,400 miles. You got to be there in 2 days or 3 days." We're like, "No, we're good." Calls us back the next day. "No, I really need you."
So we got Roger to go with
So
us.
we got Roger to go with us. So we throw Roger's truck in with ours, and decided to truck all three of us straight through to Pueblo.
That was an automatic T2000. So we're driving, one of us driving, and the thing would go into like a D-rate mode. So we'd pull off the highway, turn it off, let it sit for about 5 minutes, turn it back on, go. We changed the filters at one place, and it's just like, oh, every 2 hours you got to shut it off. Well,
Then
it's
it got to be like
Roger's
every
turn.
20 minutes.
Yeah, and it was getting worse. And it was Roger's
No, we got
turn
to
drive.
Pueblo. We
Oh,
made
we
it to Pueblo. The dealership said there was nothing wrong with it. They did a fuel test. We did all this stuff. Couldn't figure it out. I think I remember how much we spent on Labor Day weekend.
It was good.
To try to get it to go
It was good.
again. And then
Driving
we
home,
tried to drive home
and
and
Roger's driving.
middle of the night.
And like we were both sleeping, and I was like, man, we've been sleeping a long time and not pulled off the road. You can tell when a rig gets off the road or somebody's
The rumble
swerving against
strips.
the rumble strips, and you kind of wake up and it kind of jitters and keeps going down the road, and you wake up to a little jitter and keep going down the road, and we're like, Roger, is it fixed? And he goes, no, just shut it off while you're going down the highway, wait a couple seconds, and then fire it right back up, and it keeps going.
Neutral and put it right back in gear and keep going.
And Roger says it's us.
He says it's
That's
us,
the
but
issue.
there was no way.
Roger, if you ever get a chance to go on a road trip with Roger Steidel,
Yeah.
that is something you shouldn't pass up.
Yeah.
Oh, I've done it. I've done it. I've been
Yeah, I
all.
mean, that's just a couple. It seems like you have a good one or two at least a year to where, you know, the old trusty International or the mid '90s models of rigs that we seem to come across.
We drove from Wyoming again to go to Sublimity Harvest Festival,
Oh yeah.
and the low set went
Yeah.
out. So we drove. We have 300 gallons, so we can drive 1,000 some miles, and it's probably 600 miles.
We were on the east side of Oregon, and we got off the freeway,
and you can't stop because
yeah.
it won't start in 6. So we just rolled through the
Yeah.
stoplights, made the turn across the freeway, and kept on trucking.
but
We
the divider, the splitter thing, it broke,
So
and so
we
you
just-
only had the high set.
so you could only go as slow as 6
But
gear
we
with
got
low.
into Bend, and we had to cut down the hill, and I remember that we had to stop, and we just revved her till 1,600 RPM. It'll let you go, and just let the clutch out.
and
and
we
we-
jerked and jerked.
Yeah.
And we made the show though.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did, and then we had to put I can't remember how many thousands of dollars that was for the back half of the transmission, probably because we
But we
broke
think
it
it's
more
just
than
us.
it.
So maybe Tim has.
Yeah, no,
someone
maybe
too.
he's right.
Maybe it's all teams.
Yeah, no, I mean it's got to be everybody. But that was a good one. Yeah, just dumping the clutch and
Letting her go.
yeah, we got to make it. We got to be there, right?
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
half
no,
of it for us is just getting there. Yeah,
yeah, missing the show is not an option.
yeah, no, we'll fix it. Just like the monster trucks. Somebody's got some idea. I think how many times have we called Darren?
Hey.
or Andy up in Canada, our other
friend.
phone a friend, or
What about just even
McCoy
this year?
Freightliner. You know how many times? Yeah, we had
Yeah,
to call
at
Jeremy
McCoy.
and be
We
like,
probably owe him.
so we're just gonna hold the phone out the window. What does this sound like? Yeah, I mean it's you gotta have mechanic friends.
Even this year, we went down to Rick Swanson's before Bakersfield.
Yeah.
Get some axles, and we coming home, going over the grapevine, it shut off.
Yeah.
And it was really weird, you know. So you start doing all the motor blew up, you think the worst, and then you go look in the tanks and they're steaming, and you're like, man, we're out of diesel. And you look, and we say we can go 1,200 miles on a tank of gas, and we were at like 1,203. So our numbers are right on, but we ran out of diesel, so we pumped out of the other rig into the rig and kept on trucking.
Is that enough stories for you, Tim? I mean, he's probably got more than we do, but
Yeah.
Well, Vente's got some good ones. Well, let's
This
talk.
one looks like a good two-parter. We have one from Sharon Bell Lubson, and she's saying, "Is it true that you're a bad influence on Kevin and Ed Solderson?" And then right above that one, it's from Kevin asking how my baby's doing.
okay, well,
doing good.
that's part of it. You know, I don't know if it's necessarily us, but all the Canadian teams, for some reason, have a bad influence. I think it's on us. Maybe we bring it out in them, but I mean, I can't tell
Hey,
you how
I was
many.
not behind the wheel of either time Ed rolled that truck. He did that on his own.
But we
trying to
might
do
have
the stoppie, but we
egged
told him
on
how
a-
to do it.
Yeah, no, we're gonna for sure tell him how to
Hit the brakes.
Yeah,
That's it.
Just hold the brake on if you're trying to do a stoppie. It's all you need to know, and that's all he did. And it
But
went right
the
on
babies
its
are
top.
good. They're
Yeah,
still here
they-
at the barn.
They
We
are.
started the rig. We went out
They're
and plugged them
soaking up the
in
sun.
so they can
Yeah.
keep warm.
They
And
look nice and warm.
we're just waiting for a show, just like you guys.
I
No,
mean, if
Kevin
you
and Ed-
need us to send you some hats or some shirts, you guys, we've got all your merch. So, you know, Kevin, if you need a hat, or Ed, if you need a hat,
There's a
$50
box.
a hat, I think is right going market, right? Yeah, I mean, and I got as many as you need. So
You got the exchange. You got the exchange rate. You got to factor in and everything
yeah,
too.
no, it is for sure. In our time of walking out back and going to the trailer and getting them, and which is, you know, really valuable since we've got so much time on our hands.
So this is like an international thing now because we got questions from Canada and the United
that's
States.
kind of a big. You guys are kind of a big deal.
We are. We're like I said, Oprah ain't got nothing on us. And actually, I think they're talking about syndicating our podcast onto the own network soon, the Oprah Winfrey Network.
Oh, I think that's a good market for you
Yeah,
guys.
I think we're right up in there. We can go on there right in between 2020 and Who Gets Another Book. So we're going to be on there soon. We're just finalizing the paperwork, but I hate to announce too much too soon.
Okay, but if we don't have a show anytime soon, maybe Kevin and I are just gonna have to fly down here, and we'll just set up some jumps in the front arena and put the horses in the back, and
you can do their podcast with them here, and we'll run the trucks behind them.
Yeah, maybe we can do that like an intro video for them.
We'll do a live podcast with a semi show behind us.
Yeah, we'll run their trucks here in the yard, and you live stream them from Canada, and we'll call it fair.
Yeah. Perfect. This is a plan. Something's coming together.
And we'll send you some shirts or some hats. $50 a piece. You decide whatever you want. We'll start sending them. I mean, we got to give those guys like 10% or something. I think, right?
That's fair.
That's fair.
What's the average?
15.
What do we pay? 30.
Yeah.
30%.
I mean, come on now. If they're it'll be fine. Anyway, you guys, we got lots of merch. Attendance too. I mean. Yeah, they're kind of a big deal, those Canadian trucks. If you guys have seen them run, but they wad up their trucks and roll them over, and I mean the hat. Yeah, they're kind of like us. Yeah, I mean they show up to a show and the front diff was blown up, right? We're like, hurry up, get out another diff. And I can't remember. We pulled mine out. Whose one start? Where was it? No, or yours? The fuel wasn't. I can't remember. We ran with them this first quarter and. Seemed like there was always something with one truck, but hey, we got it. We had to run one show with just the four of us, and we did that too. We ran the wheels off of them, all four of us. Yep. And Ed won. Ed won. Yeah,
I think that was his first freestyle win. Yeah, he was trying to do something spectacular, and he rolled her over onto the lid off the center jump thing, and that pretty much sealed the deal. So
that's what it takes.
That was the last time we ran with them, so I guess next time we run, we're gonna have to step it up.
Well, speaking of guys you run with, talk about a little bit. I mean, you guys have raced everybody now at this point. I mean, you've raced the grave diggers, you've raced the Bigfoots, the bounty hunters, the Avengers. Who is it that you guys go up against? And I mean, both of you answer. But who is it that when you line up against them, I have to beat this person because I'm going to rub it in, brag about it, throw it in their face. I mean, who's that one person that you just have to beat every time you're against them?
It's probably each other. I don't know if you've ever seen us race, but normally one truck ends up upside down or broken. I don't know. It's always, I mean, the list you named off, it's always fun beating Jim, Kohler, Cretin.
Yeah.
Any of the Bigfoot guys, if you can beat one of them, you're doing pretty good. Maybe it was their off day or something, but we don't talk about that. It was the fact that we beat them. So, I mean, I don't know.
No, I honestly think it's each other. We race each other every single weekend. It's the next weekend if we somehow get to race each other again, it's a lot of fun. But I think any of the West Coast trucks, we run with more often. It seems
when Eric
to be
and I get to go,
competitive.
You get jacked up and run. I don't know. Donald just runs so hard. It's hard to want.
Oh yeah, okay. When was the last time you beat him?
Yeah, never. You don't try. I mean, you try.
Eric tries.
Yeah,
a lot.
I think that ended upside down.
And Rick, I think, ends up paying for that one.
Yeah, they say Dad's paying for that. That's fine.
Yeah, no, I mean Eric forgets, exactly what goes on there. Then rolls her over, and then but hey, if he beat Donald, then he's got the story, and he'll fix it, or Rick will fix it, or or we'll fix it. But I think the West Coast, the group, and that's what we've been doing. Like, seems like this last year's been a lot of fun. Just getting to compete, against the other independents that are just out this way, over and over. Bill, when we do shows with Bill, it's, I built the little stoppy thing, go try it, and then you go do it, and he's gonna do it 10 times harder than you, flip the truck over, and then do his stoppie, and then keep going, and it's just like, well, that was a good attempt. But yeah, I think we get pushed a lot to run our trucks into the ground.
We really run hard against. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, now, you guys called me last year and tried getting me to go do a show for you. But you've actually tried getting me multiple times. You even tried getting me to do a triple tour, which there was no way in hell. But
George,
last year you tried to get me to go to Hawaii with you.
Do what?
So last year you tried to get me to go Hawaii with you.
Yeah.
Which, unfortunately, I couldn't go because we were getting ready for the World Finals. But how did that go? I mean, how cool is that, being able to go take your trucks, put them in a container, take them to Hawaii of all places?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That was pretty cool.
Very few people have done it. The people over there, like, if you think people like monster trucks here, the people in Hawaii love monster trucks.
How long does this podcast go?
I guess we're killing my battery.
Yeah.
But they love, like, they turned out for the displays in the thousands. I mean, displays here, you get 100. They were thousands.
Yeah.
I mean, the noise of that place.
Like, I remember just walking down, like, you don't, it's a stadium, right? But you're in Hawaii, first off, you're there, your trucks are sitting out back, and we walk down the tunnel, down to the floor, and you're like, oh, it's a real stadium. It's packed. It's just nuts to think that many people on the islands, and the hotel we were staying at, like, there was people from other islands.
The hotel, people are like, "Oh, you're the monster truck drivers."
It was full, packed full of people that were coming to see the show, and I think we put on a pretty darn good show and broke enough stuff between the group of us the first night, and then we went and did it again the next night. So,
I mean, to show like how dedicated, like, we were serious about it. We did the show Saturday. There was a Saturday Sunday show. Saturday, you yard sailed, didn't you? And you we did 4-link bars and shocks in the middle of the show so you could freestyle. Yeah. And then on Sunday, we drove his truck down for the pit party, and we noticed it was smoking out the breathers a ton. And we did the normal phone a friend to, I think, Bill and whoever else. And, hey, what should we do? And they're like, oh, well, it might have this, might have that. And we're like, man, we came all the way to Hawaii. We're not going to let a motor stop us or hurt. So we took the truck out of the pit party, swapped a motor during the pit party, and it made the show, and he actually went on to win the show. So,
and Jacob and Brandon were there with us, and they're like, we're gonna do what?
Yeah.
You guys, like, we're like gonna
before the show, like in 2 hours.
No, like, you get the exhaust off. We got to start here, guys. Just start pulling something off. And no, I think they had a lot of fun. I think we worked them more than they had fun, but they were a huge help in that. But we swapped the motor. I went out, brand new motor, and I went out and did donuts because it was so wet the night before we couldn't race. So I did donuts first, and I think I had that thing revved as high as it would go for, seemed like 2 minutes. And I stop, and I just remember Dan yelling over, going, "Oh, nice on the new motor, huh?" Like, I had to break her in right. But ended up winning donuts, and then I got a backflip and broke the front of the truck. But I won that overall show. So Tyler won Saturday night. I won Sunday night. I had to do a little damage to the truck to get the win, but we both got 2 surfboards sitting there with the trophies, so
it was worth it.
It was worth it.
Pushed everything back into the trailer.
And us and Jeff's group that was there with the trucks. Just those guys. We had to have them loaded by 6 a.m. the next morning, and I think it was 3 a.m. We finally just, like, everybody. We were just, any parts you just shove in the trailer because they all had to go back to the port.
There was a hub, a wheel bent so far around the hub. I think they just undid the spindle bolts and put a whole new spindle and corner on it just to put it in the trailer.
The back shock tires ripped off. Whatever it took, after the show, we were getting them back in the trailer. Everybody got their stuff back in, and we were really looking forward to doing it again this first quarter. And they had a bunch of trucks lined up, good trucks lined up for it, and
they pushed it to July 24th or 25th, so
happened, and
we're hoping.
Yeah, we're hoping
there's still a chance.
Well, hey, I'm semi-retired, so this year, if you need a crew guy,
so you're available. Okay. So does that mean you're working cheaper? Yeah.
Well, since we never discussed price last year, yes, it's cheaper than it would have
And you're available, so
been available. So I'm
hey,
all
we'll,
about right.
we'll be thinking
put you on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, put me on the short list. But I want to fly out early. I am not coming in the day of the show and leaving as soon as it's over.
Okay. Were you not just there for the show?
Mm-mm.
No.
Unlike you, I want days off away from them things.
Yeah, we did get like one day, I think, to wander around last year. So, but it was all serious with the trucks. We wanted to put on a good show, make sure every truck was running. So I think the stress level would be a lot less this year. So, and then everybody knows the game plan, and so yeah, I think we'd have more, a lot more fun second round. So we'll see. But yeah, no, you're at top of the list since we didn't even put it out there yet, but you offered. So
yeah. Well, I knew I'd be getting a call, so
okay.
I would just go ahead and stop that.
I don't know if you would have been the first call, but Mason.
Well, look, my
$20
career
to put him on the list first. So
my entire career has been a lack of options. That's why I always get the calls because nobody else will say yes. So
there's no good teams in Kansas, right? So it's hard to work.
You have to
bad
travel.
Teams.
Yeah,
it's hard when you live in Oklahoma and everybody else lives somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
What else you got, Mr. Mason?
We have one from Cami Day, and she's asking who is better at racing between you two, between racing and or freestyle.
Oh, I'm not a racer. Trav for sure has more like racing wins, I would say.
Yeah.
I try to get through racing. Like if I'm feeling it and I get a couple rounds in, I'll go. But really, like if I wreck my truck in racing and I don't get to freestyle, like I'm disappointed and the fans are probably disappointed.
But
so.
the thing about that is if he does break his truck and he doesn't get a freestyle and I have to freestyle like him, it never usually ends up good for my truck. Just saying, I can't. There's been more times where people come up, oh, you freestyled like your brother. Well, yeah, because his truck didn't run, or I had to, I just, for sure, he's the freestyler, and we put the trucks back together no matter what. But
we both have our good days and bad days.
I think my truck is a little bit nicer. I would hate to have to drive his truck every day. And every time he gets to drive my truck, he always like, man, your truck actually turns. It actually stops. I'm like, you check your brake fluid lately? And it's just, yeah. I mean, they're both identical. They're both straight up racing chassis. Our shocks are the same. The axles, I mean, everything is the same, but yet they're completely different trucks. And yeah, I've had to drive his a couple times, and I let Eric drive mine in Edmonton the 1 year, and I had to drive his. I've drove yours a couple times, didn't really do anything with it. Yeah, so I think of the racing. I'm getting pretty good at the stoppies now, just to go on to like the the wheelies, where he doesn't want to try them because then, because he's afraid to hurt his truck when it's broken anyway. He'll just go on and just like, I'm just gonna jump the center stack. Well, what kind of two-wheel is that? Well, I don't care. I'm just gonna go out there and jump it as far as I can jump it. So yeah,
We have
that's
one from, oh, go ahead. Finish up.
Go ahead,
One
Mason.
from Levi Jones, and he's asking, what's the weirdest thing or item somebody has asked from you? That could be parts, merchandise, or etc.
Some girl wanted where it was last year, wanted the ride truck flag. Just says like ride truck here. She wanted the flag.
No, it was monster truck or ride truck, like our banners for the ride truck. That was the recent one, and she's like, "No, I'll buy it. What does it cost?" And I'm like, "Well, we don't have another one, and we're not gonna be able to advertise." So
people like
whatever, sure, have it, take
whatever they want. Yeah. That's not that.
Yeah,
weird.
I mean, if somebody walks up, the autograph line. Oh, can I have your hat? Oh yeah, sure. Here, have the hat. I don't know about weird or kind of odd. Like, I don't know. People come to us asking for monster truck parts, and we're like, you could look, but we do carry a lot of crap in the trailer, but usually it's nothing that anybody else meets.
I don't really know what's weird.
Yeah.
Well, I actually had somebody this year when we were in Jacksonville. We exploded a planetary, and I was tearing it apart in the pit. The guy was screaming something, and he was so excited because I gave him just an exploded sun gear. All the teeth were gone. It was broke, and I mean, you thought I gave this guy the world because I let him have this destroyed sun gear.
Huh.
So, kind of odd.
Yeah. Okay.
Huh, what truck was that off of?
The black one.
Oh, so it's worth a lot.
Yeah, it's worth a lot.
Yeah. Oh. Huh. Nice. Yeah. No, I know. It's we get a lot of people coming up and or parts wise like that.
So we wanted a broken
stuff.
axle shaft to make
Yeah.
like a shifter out of or stuff like that. But
We got plenty of broken parts. We love the scrapyard. It's like our favorite thing to do is to just fill the truck with the half the amount of stuff it'll hold and go to the scrapyard, see what the scrapyard's got. And
dogs are trying to attack you.
guard dogs. And then we, load up another pile of scrap and go out and see if we can find anything cool at the scrapyard. It's kind of our thing lately. Looking for weird stuff. It's probably just the same thing as us going to the scrapyard, looking around as people looking at our broken stuff. So
Yeah. All right, Mason, you got a couple more. We'll let this gentleman go.
Yeah. Here's another two-parter. One from Michael Keller asking, "Where's the BSB guys?" And one from Ron asking, "What's in the cup, boys?" As I pulled up.
Oh, dunk. We've got Donald hooked on that.
The 103. Donald's
Yeah.
a little higher class than
Yeah,
we
he
are.
is. You can't. The 80 isn't good enough for Donald. It's got to be 103. So, that's kind of our thing. If you've been around us in the last
It's a
couple of
sunshine.
years.
It's a Sunday evening.
Yeah.
Gotta sit down and.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No. We do have our cups and our drinks.
Say
And
hi.
hang on, Ty's daughter wants to get her
All right, come in and
moment
wave.
of fame here.
Jump in. I don't know where Cam is.
Hi.
Cam or Mason. I don't know how this thing works. All right. We're all. Couple more questions, then we'll be in. Oh, it's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day
Yeah.
to all the
Oh, yeah.
mothers, our wives, our mom. So we don't forget that. That's what we're
Yeah.
supposed to be in Mother's Day dinner.
I think we're supposed to be doing s'mores or something.
Well, let's do one more. We'll do one more comment, and we'll let
All
you
right.
guys go to your Mother's Day dinner. What you got, Mason?
Last one's from MJ Solario, and he's asking, "What's the weirdest item either of you have been asked to sign during a pit party?"
Toilet seat cover, like the paper that covers the toilet seat.
Yeah, that was a weird one. I think somebody's
was
like,
that Pasco.
is it like a
Pasco
pill bottle or
Pill
something,
bottle
or
was
like
Pasco.
a Advil bottle or something? It's Pasco. Maybe it's some Eastern Washington people. Yeah, weird stuff. Like, some people think it's weird for the shoes. I think it's funny when you go through and a kid wants their shoe signed and everybody else is like, ew, that's gross. And yeah, I mean, you do have random stuff come through every once in a while, for sure. But yeah, I can't think of any other ones off the top of my head that are.
I mean, just knowing the fact that they went in the bathroom, took the toilet seat cover off, and want you to sign it. I don't know if they put it on their wall. That might be more weird
Yeah,
than
that
us
would
signing
be. Yeah, that would.
Only if they kept the shape and everything, so you can truly see what it was that was
Yeah,
signed.
exactly.
I mean, we shouldn't call him out like that, but Dallas probably did hang it on his wall.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy. Jeez.
Well, guys, I appreciate you guys coming on here, especially for it being Mother's Day and taking time away from your families and stuff like that. We'll have you guys back on later in the year.
Yeah.
Talk about things once we're up and going again. But I appreciate it. Can't wait to see you guys on the road again.
Thank you for having us. We're ready to get back to it. So, once these shows start up, I bet we're going to be every weekend all over the country because we got to get them in. So I'm sure we'll be running into everybody here hopefully soon.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. And
Yeah.
we will see you on the road. So thank you to Tyler and Travis Groth.
See you later.
Mason, we got a couple comments for us or something we need to cover before we sign off here?
Doesn't exactly look like it. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. I wasn't able to say all the, respond back to all the hellos and people coming in, but like to thank especially Christopher Allen and his family for coming along. They were just saying hi, and everybody else that tuned in, everybody new and old. Thank you guys again. Like Groth twins were saying, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. I'm going to be going out shortly here to help celebrate my Mother's Day with my mom and my grandmother. So I'm going to have a nice, at least, evening going on. What about you, Cam?
No, we already did Mother's Day with my wife, and I called my mom early, so I got that one out of the way. But, yeah, I just want to thank everybody. Wish everybody a happy Mother's Day. Wednesday night, I guess we'll go ahead and announce it now. We will have Adam Anderson, driver of Gravedigger, will be on with us for the Hump Day Happy Hour at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central. Make sure you check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and soon to come here in the next couple hours, I guess, Spotify and YouTube. And thank you, everybody, to watching. And we will see you guys Wednesday night.
Gotcha.